Boom, hey internets, new episode of BrandHype. Today we're talking about addiction. Let's go. One of the big reasons that I created BrandHype is so that I can highlight the brands that I like, the brands that I think are doing things correctly in one aspect or multiple aspects of their game in terms of delivering their brand to the world. And a third thing is there's a lot of brands that I am working with or that have subscribed to this channel just like you guys watching and have really worked hard and made things work for themselves. So I want to follow them on their progress as they're trying to become a huge or a multi-million dollar brand. As a lot of you know, one of my big goals for the channel is to eventually work with 3 or 4 brands that can make it to the multi-million dollar mark, and I want to really journal, or I really want to document that journey when I get the opportunity to work with those brands who get on the platform and are ready to kind of launch off and be one of those big marquee brands in the future. So Martin Garcia is my boy, and he was a subscriber to the channel that reached out to me several years ago. Just like you, was watching the channel and wanted to get some counsel in order to kind of move forward with his brand. He's also a really well-established writer. He goes by Reza, which means to pray in Spanish, and he reps Vampiros and BAMC, and those are 2 really good crews, both local and international, for the community of graffitis and writers and street artists. And so coming from street art, I really think Reza has a spirit of like a hustler and really captures the essence of someone who comes from that environment. I think his gut instinct of putting out visuals is really related to that as well. So it's very close to street in a lot of ways, and I don't see it a lot with a lot of brands. I think for me, a classic brand that killed it with t-shirts and the whole graffiti world was Tribal. I actually don't think a lot of people or anyone will come close to the kind of mark that Tribal has made, especially in the 90s, late 90s, and coming into 2000. They were just really top notch in terms of communicating what graffiti meant and communicating it in a way of apparel. And so what Martin has done with Adixion is really made it feel like a big brand and made it feel like a lifestyle brand where you can tell the influence of street is there. So if we pull up on Adixion_brand, you'll see really good curated media images. There's an ongoing theme here that I always communicate to you guys, and it's big. And so as Instagram and Facebook are some of the biggest ways to communicate to our audience or future audience, you got to have top-notch visuals. If we pull up to the website, again, some of the header images, really well curated shots. You know, the difference between what this shot could look like if someone was just trying to do it with less quality photography is huge. So just something to bear in mind. As we scroll down, we see product, you see a face mask, printables, embroidered hats, but really clean offering. And so 2 things I wanted to talk about from the brand that is away from what you might know just by seeing its social media platforms is to do one of the launch offs. What Martin did, which was really smart, is he partnered with Active in Ventura. He basically wanted to do a pop-up event with Adixion in the shop. And the shop, if they see it's organized and they see that you're really bringing a curated event to them, what shop would say no if you're gonna bring possible customers? And it's the same demographic and customer base that Adixion would then have. Reza is not scared to work. A lot of what he's doing with his brand, he'll screen print with his own hands. First of all, he learned the craft or the trade of screen printing for just a small operation. And number 2, he actually executed and made a small rig, put everything together, and screen prints a lot of the products himself. And what this does, it eliminates a lot of overhead. There's no huge chain of people he has to go through in order to kind of get the product done, or screen printing shop that he has to go back and forth with. He is the screen printing shop, so that makes your minimums really low. The only thing you have to worry about then is getting blanks in, and then everything that you have in terms of inventory can turn into selling inventory. And so I've done a couple videos about it where I say don't start a screen printing shop to screen print for everyone, but if you do one that's just for your brand, I think that's actually a brilliant idea. And so he's done that. And so taking on the work to learn all the trades and then bring it in-house in order to eliminate overhead is really smart, and it tells me even more about his character and his determination and his willingness to learn and use it as part of his vehicle and his craft. Because being that he's a very well-known writer, I know that art is kind of a big thing for him, and so that makes all of this journey a much more interesting process, and it speaks to me as an artist as well. So big shout out to Teresa and the whole team at Adixion, doing some good things. Any comments that you had about this or any questions about this or anything else, drop it all down below. Like if you like, sub if you love, and ring the bell so you get the notifications. Follow me on social media when you guys get a chance. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Bye.